The homeless alien woman was freezing. Only one human opened his door to her. One, the cold night. Snow fell in heavy silence over the outskirts of New Haven, Earth's last mixed-species city after the Terran Union peace accords. The streets glittered with ice. Neon signs flickered over closed shops and locked doors. No one walked these roads at night, especially not someone like her. She stumbled through the alley barefoot, wrapped in a torn metallic sheet that did little against the wind. Her skin shimmered faintly violet under the frost, her fingers trembling as she clutched them to her chest. She was an aliari, a species once at war with humanity, now forgotten, scattered, unwanted. A refugee with no name, no shelter. She collapsed beside a rusted garbage bin and curled into a ball, eyes half shut, breath slowing. She waited for death, until a door creaked open. Two, the stranger. Daniel Rook had been a mechanic once, until war and time stripped him of everything but an old house, a cluttered garage, and a stubborn sense of decency. He had been watching the snowfall from his second-floor window when he spotted movement in the alley. A figure, small, shivering, not human, his gut twisted. He opened the door. "Hey!" The woman flinched. "I'm not going to hurt you," Daniel said, stepping out in worn boots and a heavy coat. "Come inside. You'll freeze out here." Her eyes, glowing faintly gold, blinked at him. "You open door?" "Yeah, and it's staying open for 5 more seconds." She didn't hesitate. She crawled toward the warm light and disappeared inside. Free, a quiet exchange. Daniel gave her a blanket, then a second one, then an oversized hoodie. She huddled in the corner by the heater, not saying a word, eyes darting around like a wild animal. "You hungry?" he asked. She nodded once. He heated a can of soup. She sniffed it suspiciously, then devoured it with trembling hands. After the last sip, she let out a shaky breath and finally looked him in the eye. "I'm called Salira," she whispered. Daniel nodded. "I'm Daniel. This is my place. It's not much, but it's warm." She looked at the wall, her voice brittle. "Why help me?" He shrugged. "Because no one else did." 4, a place to stay. Over the next few days, Salira barely spoke, but she stayed. Daniel didn't push. He offered food, clothes, space. She cleaned the garage without being asked. She fixed a broken light, using tools he didn't know she'd taken. He caught her studying blueprints of machines he'd given up on years ago. "You ever work with engines?" She nodded. "Before war." One day, she rebuilt a generator in the garage. Another, she repaired his heater. Slowly, the house began to feel alive again. 5, cold outside, warm within. As winter deepened, they settled into a rhythm. Mornings were silent breakfasts. Afternoons filled with quiet repairs. Evenings brought old movies and long silences broken by the crackle of fire. Then came the day Daniel found her standing outside, eyes closed, feeling the snow on her face. "You're not cold?" he asked. "Still cold," she replied. "But now I am not alone." She turned to him. "You saved me." Daniel scratched his beard. "You're saving this place more than I am." She smiled, a small, strange, beautiful smile. 6, trouble returns. One evening, 2 men from the local patrol knocked on the door. Their eyes fell on Salira instantly. "You know harboring unregistered aliens is illegal, right?" One asked. Daniel stepped forward. "She's not a danger. She's helping. She has no ID, no pass, no chip. You want her safe? Get her processed." They left with a warning. That night, Salira sat by the heater again, her smile gone. "They'll take me away." "Not if I can help it," Daniel said. 7, a risk worth taking. The next morning, Daniel drove Salira to the old city office where few people went anymore. He pulled strings, talked to a retired official who owed him favors. She needs asylum, Daniel said. She's not like the others. The woman looked at Salira, at her glowing eyes and shaking hands. She doesn't have documents. She has a home. Silence passed. The old woman finally nodded. She can stay for now, but you'll be responsible. I already am, Daniel said. 8, belonging. Winter gave way to spring. The snow melted. Flowers began to bloom. And Salira, she planted vegetables in the backyard. She built a new solar battery. She fixed Daniel's old truck. One evening, she brought out a warm meal and sat beside him under the stars. I was supposed to die, she said quietly, but you opened a door. He looked at her. Sometimes that's all it takes. She placed her hand over his. For a long moment, they said nothing. 9, a home for 2. Months passed. Salira no longer flinched at footsteps or hidden corners. The townsfolk saw her fixing things, offering help, building new devices. Whispers turned into nods, nods into greetings. And Daniel? He found himself laughing again, eating better, sleeping deeper. He had lost everything once. But in the coldest winter, he had opened a door and found a reason to hope again. 10, epilogue. They never announced anything official. No ceremony. No papers. But everyone knew Daniel Rook, the gruff old mechanic, had given a dying alien woman a place to survive. She gave him something even greater, a reason to live. And in a little house on the edge of town, a human and an alien watched the seasons turn, together,